Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. We are live once again today. It is the Quicker State 400 at the Kentucky Speedway, the second race of the round of 16 of the playoffs. A double header today due to not streaming last night. Got home from the golf course a little bit later. We were very late on the stream the night before at the Auto Club Speedway, and I felt bad about that one. I did not want to do it 2 nights in a row, so making it up today with having my day off of work today, I figured let's do them both today. We're going to run this Kentucky race right now, and then at about 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tonight, we will run the Watkins Glen race. So back to back, and we'll get the second race of the round of 16 in, and the elimination round of the round of 16 in as well. Jackson Thomas, Joshua Rumsey, Patrick Shadley, Carswin Boy. I know Dark Crypto was in the chat earlier. And welcome all you guys to the stream and many more. Keegan Schneider coming in off a win a couple nights ago at the Auto Club Speedway, winning the first race of the round, punching his ticket to the round of 12 of the playoffs. You will not be able to see the points on the left side of your screen for either of tonight's races. For whatever reason, it was not saving when I was trying to crop out the actual point standings. I have them all updated, but I will be able to show you during the stage breaks, which I will here tonight. So here are the points following the race last night or 2 nights ago rather, at the Auto Club Speedway. Again, Keegan Schneider is advanced. He is in the next round of the playoffs. Those are all the playoff points he would have if that round started today. Kyle Busch is sitting 46 points above the cutoff line. He's the next best driver currently. He is number 2 of the seeding. Joey Logano, 42 points above the cutoff line. Denny Hamlin, 40 points above the cutoff line. Kevin Harvick is 39 points above the cutoff line. Kurt Busch is 27 points above the cutoff line. All those drivers in a comfortable situation, but they are not locks by any means. If they end up running into an issue, they will go from having that buffer to being right around the cutoff line. So keep an eye on those guys just as much as the rest of the field. And as for the rest of the field, Matt Kenseth, 14 points above the cutoff line. Brad Keselowski, 13 points above the cutoff line. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 6 points above the cutoff line? Didn't have a great day yesterday. Finished top 15, though. Other drivers finished further back behind him. Plus, he did have that win earlier this year, which is the reason why he's in the playoffs. He had 5 playoff points going in as well. Not bad. He's going to have to pick up the pace likely again if he's going to want to continue to stay in the playoffs following the round of 16, but off to a good start. Clint Boyer, 4 points above the cutoff line. So is Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Blaney, and those are the last 3 drivers above the cutoff line in a 3-way tie. John Hunter Nemechek is the first driver below the cutoff line at minus 4 points. Matt DiBenedetto at minus 12 points. He had a rough run last night, or 2 nights ago again, at the Auto Club Speedway. Eric Almirola was the worst finisher of the drivers who finished the race the other night, finishing in the 29th position at the Auto Club Speedway. Ryan Newman was the only playoff driver who DNF'd out of the first race of the playoffs. So both Almirola and Newman are 15 points below. DiBenedetto 12 points below the cutoff line. So that is currently how the points shake up following race 1. We'll show you that throughout the course of today's race, and we will update that at the end, so that way when Watkins Glen race starts later tonight, the points will be updated. Now into the race. Denny Hamlin qualified on the pole. I believe Kevin Harvick qualified second, so those will be the 2 drivers on the front row. Josh Malicki not looking very fast here, and Quinn Houff, I guess, posted some fast laps in practice. I don't know what that entails, but we'll see. What can Quinn Houff do with StarCom Racing here tonight? Schneider's 1 for 1 with Hooters on the car for his sponsor throughout the course of the race. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 with them to kick off the playoffs. Green flag is in the air. Denny Hamlin will lead the field to the green, and we're underway at Kentucky. "80 laps in stage 1, 80 laps in stage 2. And the third and final stage of the night will consist of 107 laps, making up the 400 miles and 267 laps around the Kentucky Speedway tonight. Oh, Ryan Blaney just stuffs it into 3 and 4, right into the side of Schneider. He's going to go around the lap board on turn 4. Stacking up Bubba Wallace and a couple other cars behind him. We have our first caution on lap 1 here tonight at Kentucky. He dove it in there 3 wide on corner entry to turn 3 and just shot right into the side of the 99, and he ended up turning himself right around. Who would have thought we were going to get off to a start like that, especially with a playoff driver going for a spin. Blaney tied for the last driver above the cutoff line. Off to a bit of a slow start. It didn't seem like outside of the couple cars that kind of got into the side of Blaney as he spun. I believe Blaney kept it off the wall. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage. We'll just have to wait and see. Green flag back in the air though for the meantime at Kentucky as we'll try this again. It wasn't Schneider's fault or Cole Custer, who was on the outside of Schneider when Blaney dove it in there 3 wide. Schneider down to the apron off turn 2. That's pretty risky. Try to get back underneath the 41 car again as he side drafts him down the back straightaway. Sends it into turn 3 this time, occupying the bottom and making a pass on Corey LaJoie in the 32. 3 wide out of the rear view of the 99 now as they cut through the trial for a block on Johnson. Schneider trying to shake to the inside of Clint Boyer into turn 1 and will. Definitely was not expecting a caution on lap 1. We had 9 cautions for incident at the Auto Club Speedway in the first race of the playoffs. 6 of those were in the final stage of the race, 3 in the final 28 laps. First up, the speed lap was just ran that time. Kevin Harvick is taking the lead away from Hamlin who won the first couple of laps under the yellow. 3 wide between Stenhouse, Byron, and Keselowski into turn 3. Stenhouse fighting for a top 10. He had 5 top 10s through the regular season, a few top 5s as well. That allowed him to point his way. Sorry, he got the win to get into the playoffs. He was not in the top 16 of points. So he knew coming in that he was going to need more consistency. Not a top 10 finish in race 1, but drivers not having good runs or Ryan Newman having that DNF sitting behind him in points is definitely going to help him for this opening race. Stenhouse just lost a spot to Jimmy Johnson, who's definitely on the move early on. Schneider pulls clear to the 42 of Kenseth, now sends it into 1 and 2 to get around Stenhouse. Stenhouse going to cross him back over to the inside. Schneider trying to go for a record in the modern era, at least 6 wins in a row. Most wins all time in a row would be for Richard Petty, had 10 in a row before the modern era. And the next win would be the 20th win of the season for Keegan Schneider. It would also be his 25th in his career. We'll see if it will take place in Bluegrass Stadium today. This has not been his best track, in fact his worst track in the career mode when considering all 3 of the top series. How about Ryan Blaney after that spin earlier? Trying to get back into it. Schneider just cannot pull clear of Stenhouse. He's been on the outside of him for 2 laps in a row now. Just can't quite pull clear into the center of turns 1 and 2. Now he pulls clear off the exit of turn 2. BJ McLeod on the outside of Stenhouse for position now. A bit of a looser setup coming into this race, and here comes Blaney after spinning on lap 1. Very lucky he didn't really make much contact, and now he's in the mix. Schneider going to defend down to the apron through the tri-oval, pull back up onto the racetrack, taking that shortcut to stay in front of the 12 who had a big run off turn 4. And Blaney's now trying to charge through the field at Advanced Auto Parts Ford Mustang. Schneider slides up the track. And And Blaney's going to make the pass. Blaney back up to 11th after a poor qualifying effort. He is definitely one of the drivers in need of stage points. Schneider, after locking his way into the next round with that win at Auto Club, is strictly just racing for playoff points in both the races tonight at Kentucky and Watkins Glen. Stage wins and race wins is what he will be going for. He can carry those playoff points into the next round. He not only won the race, giving him 5 playoff points 2 nights ago at Auto Club en route to clinching himself into the round of 12. Those 5 playoff points carry over to the next round, but he also won both the stages in that race, so got 7 playoff points in the opening playoff race. Already had a lot coming into the playoffs in general. This is going to help him even more. Ryan Newman really starting to fade backwards. Schneider takes it 3 wide underneath Johnson, and now he gets back into the side of Blaney, much like Blaney got into him earlier. And they're 3 wide through the trioval. That really costed the 12 a lot of momentum, and now he's tucked in line behind Almirola in the 10. Hops down in front of Ryan Newman, behind Jimmy Johnson in the 48. Johnson makes his way around Almirola for position now as well. Schneider up to 8th place. Race high in the early going. Getting the gas a little too early off turn 4 at times. Slides way up the racetrack. Johnson going to take that cut down to the apron to try and get underneath the 99. Couldn't quite get there that time. Only looking to challenge to the outside of the 48. Short tracks are your weakness. For whatever reason, I think we've crashed twice at Kentucky because of that glitch on the apron, so I'm going to try not to go down there too much. Already went down there once in the early going. You see Jimmy Johnson going down there as well. It's weird that it, like, spazzes out when you run over it. It doesn't do it every time either. But it definitely doesn't seem to do it when the AI runs across the apron here. Down there again. Give him a massive run into turn 1 now on Kurt Busch. Right in line behind the 1 as he pulls down low to make the pass into turn 3 for 7th place. He's got the position. Slides way up in front of him. Kurt might be able to cross him back over to the inside, and he'll take that attempt. Clear of Kurt again off turn 2. This time we'll be able to drive away. Definitely being aggressive down on the apron early on. Pulls us in on Truex into turns 1 and 2. Quick move to the high side. Kind of slipped up the track a little much. Truex holds clear. Schneider should get the run, though, down the back straightaway as he pulls into turn 3. Turns 3 and 4 a little bit flatter than 1 and 2, so it was a lot more difficult for him to hold the high side that time. Battle for the lead going on right now. Denny Hamlin led that lap of the line, but then Chase Elliott took the advantage into turn 1 now. See that pack of cars all battling up there. Elliott, non-playoff driver, looking for his first win, not only of the season, but in the entire NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. He has not yet won in the Cup Series. Schneider pulls clear of Truex into turn 3 for 6. Blaney up to 8th place, closing in on the 19 car as well. Yeah, Truck and Xfinity schedules came out yesterday when I was on lunch, so I took a good look at them. And I will mention as well that now that you brought up the schedule, that we talked, like, there's a joke going around that Alex Bowman is a track killer in NASCAR. I think I'm the track killer in NASCAR. All these, like, races I've been to, there's been a lot of races I've gone to that have lost a date or, you know, just isn't on the schedule anymore in a particular series. All within the last couple years. Got Indianapolis. I went to the Brickyard 400 2018 on the oval. They only have one more race after that with fans before running it on the road course. I saw the last race ever at Chicagoland. I saw the second to last race at Kentucky with fans. I saw the, I was at the Pocono doubleheader last year. They axed that now that Pocono's only got one date. I was at the Xfinity Series race at Mid-Ohio last year. They're not even running at Mid-Ohio next year. The Truck Series is, but unfortunately the Xfinity Series isn't. Michigan's lost a date within the last couple seasons. That's my home track. I've been going there for a few years. I was at the last truck race at Eldora. And I guess if you want to kind of throw Atlanta in there, they're getting repaved, complete overhaul and reconfiguration for their mile and a half track. I was at the second to last race with fans at that track as well. You got trouble on the front stretch. Somebody blowing an engine. Hamlin's in the wall on the tri-oval. It almost got ran into from behind by Joey Logano. The slow momentum allows Schneider to try to go for the lead into turn one on Keselowski, but he couldn't do it. Hamlin hit the wall hard, trying to avoid the 47 in a tough break for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as he is up in smoke early on. Keselowski again to the high side. Schneider down to the bottom, trying to side draft the two, and again, he can't quite get to the lead. Schneider to the high side on Brad Keselowski now. As they alternate lanes, Brad was on the top. Brad defends on the inside and again holds on. Schneider looks low into turn three. Contact between the two cars. Keselowski's going to get sideways getting into the corner and he saves it. A little side swipe by the 4 of Harvick on his way through, and Schneider will lead his first lap of the race. At lap 28, after some contact with Brad Keselowski, what a wild last few laps we've had. Yeah, trucks going to Sonoma, Indianapolis Raceway Park. I was surprised they're bringing Knoxville back with the Truck Series. Giving it a second chance. I guess I'm all for it, though. I'm all for a second chance. A lot of the reason Knoxville was bad was because of the drivers. I mean, let's be honest. The way they were using each other up. Like, the bump and run is one thing if it turns into a one-groove racetrack, but if it's, you know, just completely leaning on somebody all the way through the corner, that's not Rubman's racing. That's just being too aggressive, overly aggressive. And when you're on dirt, especially in a series that doesn't traditionally race on dirt, that's why you saw as many accidents. And it's not like Knoxville's been the only reason for that. They've been doing that at Eldora the last few years they were there too, so it's just the crop of drivers who got the Truck Series which is causing that. Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing that on non-dirt racing tracks in the Truck Series the last couple of years. Kind of saw it at Bristol a couple weeks ago, to be completely honest, especially in the first couple stages. First 2 stages of the race, I don't think they had longer than the 20-lap green flag run. Cautions they were getting. Start Crypto will come on into the stream. Portland, of course, going to the Xfinity schedule. They're not running at Mid-Ohio because they're going to Portland, so that's... yeah, you know, to be completely fair, I probably wasn't going to go to the Xfinity race at Mid-Ohio. Because I haven't seen the trucks there before, I probably will go to the truck race at Mid-Ohio next year. Why not? It's only an hour and a half away from me. It would have been cool to see the Xfinity and the trucks on the same weekend instead of just the Xfinity Series. I thought that was really weird that the Xfinity Series isn't going there anymore, but the trucks are. I just find that weird. I would have thought, like, for instance, going to Portland, that they probably would have had the truck and the Xfinity Series going there. And it was rumored that NASCAR was looking to go up there just so that way there was maybe more reason to go to the racetrack for the weekend if the trucks and the Xfinity Series are there for Portland and reaching into a new market. So that's a little strange. And I guess the trucks are going to Mid-Ohio because NASCAR does want to keep Mid-Ohio in the top 3 series. It seems like they have had some pretty good races there the last few years. I know this year was an alright race. I mean, it was a good finish, but the race itself was... It was too many cautions for my liking. And even a buddy of mine that, I've gotten into NASCAR and he's been to a few races, but, well, I think that was only his second race in the He was like, there's too many cautions. Like, the first half of the race was just plagued with yellows. Yeah, that IRP race is the playoff opener for the Truck Series as well. So, automatically, that's just going to be let's be fair, that's going to be a wreck fest. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to cut you short. I mean, knowing it's the Truck Series and how they race on short tracks, even, intermediate sometimes, I'd like to think that that's probably going to end up being a wreck fest. I'll watch it if it's not too late of a start time at least that night. So, I don't know, we'll see. That could lead to the Xfinity Series going there sometime too. I don't think the Cup Series will ever go there, only because even if Indianapolis is down in attendance at the Speedway, they still sell 50, 60, 70,000 tickets. They can't sell that many at IRP because there's not that many seats. So, logistically, it makes more sense for them to run at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway versus IRP in the Cup Series. Even if I don't know exactly where the racetrack is at. I haven't been to Indianapolis Raceway Park, even though I've been to Indy a couple times now. I haven't been to that specific track. I don't know if they could add grandstands to maybe be able to sit 50, 60, 70,000 people that would buy their tickets at IMS. I don't know. Caution's out for the second time tonight. Initially with 231 laps to go, it's already our second caution of the race, and now you're going to be seeing everybody pit. They'll be able to make it on fuel to the end of the stage from here. So four tires and fuel coming for Schneider. Matt Kenseth, playoff driver, will get the free pass in 21st. Stenhouse on the lead lap at 20th. I thought he was the one that had the issue. It might have been, it was Ryan Preece. So Preece is out of the race. It was the other JTG Doherty car. So sorry for that one. Look very similar. So Ryan Preece is out of the race. Luckily, Stenhouse still in it, but he has obviously lost a lot of ground. We saw him in 11th earlier. He's back to 20th. Last car to lead lap at the time of the caution. Schneider will get the restart from the lead. 40 laps to go in stage 1. We're halfway through the opening stage today at Kentucky. And Schneider leads the field to the green. Keselowski way up high near the wall. And Elliott easily is going to take on underneath him. Schneider down to the apron off the exit of turn 2, trying to undercut the corner as much as he could. Got a little loose on him, but he stayed in the gas. And now into turns 3 and 4. Logano to the inside of Chase Elliott. Schneider hooked to that yellow line on the inside of the racetrack and will lead the opening lap after the restart. I don't think he's got a great short run car, though. We'll see if he can hang on for the lead. I don't expect him to hold on very long. Chase Elliott to the high side for the race lead. Nice looking Kelly Blue Book paint scheme for Elliott. Keselowski to the high side now. Schneider side drafted him before getting into the corner. Brad got really loose as well, and now Logano gets loose in the center of the corner. And look at BJ McLeod shooting up inside the top 5. Jimmy Johnson as well. Between McLeod, Johnson, and Elliott, those are all non-playoff drivers. Schneider's going to be in the middle now. Contact with the 78 down low, and that pushes the 99 up wide near the wall. But he kept it off the wall. Logano still losing positions in the middle lane. Still 3 wide middle. Truex on the inside. Here comes Clint Boyer up high. Oh, contact with Boyer. Newman's there. Schneider's just trying not to get squeezed. It's all over the place. Slides up the racetrack. Barely kept it off the wall and the 14 car. And he's all the way back to 16th. He was definitely struggling in the dirty air on the restart. And now tries to hold off Stenhouse, who gained a couple of spots off the restart. Keselowski, meanwhile, going to get back to the lead. 3 wide. Hamlin's lost a ton of ground. Hamlin, Busher, Boyer were all in the mix there. Hold on, I'm coming. Welcome to the stream. I don't know why. I like that name a lot more than a lot. I feel like that one just kind of like, it makes somewhat sense. Like if you're linked in the chat, but the spelling of it is still provocative like you usually like to have it. So there we go. They're 4 wide up there. Truex, Almirola, Logano, McLeod, they were 4 wide off turn 4 and they made it. 4 wide at Kentucky usually doesn't work. We kind of saw that with the finish here in 2020. They were banging fenders. Running out of racetrack on the inside was Blaney hitting the drain. Schneider really tight. Got in line behind Newman, and the car shoved up the track, almost got into William Byron, had to lift. And Eric Jones will run from behind. Jones, another one of those stronger equipment race cars that missed the playoffs. Number 20. Made the playoffs a season ago on the career mode. He won a race at Phoenix in the regular season. Oh, you didn't get to watch races of the Nashville? Yeah, the Xfinity Series was pretty good race. Truck race wasn't bad either. The Cup race was pretty good. It was an averagely good Cup race, I'd say. The event person, the atmosphere was electric, but the game sold out. The aesthetics of it looked awesome, especially in person. I recommend just with the, just the hype of the event alone. And Nashville feels like a racing city with NASCAR, that you should go to Nashville if you get a chance, especially knowing that, who knows when that contract is going to be extended for them to run at Nashville Super Speedway. Could only have 3 more races there, you never know, so don't know 100% if they can get the Nashville Fairgrounds on the Cup Series circuit, and if they do, will they race at Nashville Super Speedway at the same time as well? Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Sorry to hear that, by the way, Michael.
Stay low, stay low. Top 3, use it if you need it. Stay on the pause here. Alright, you're clear there.
and Boyer trying to get underneath here at Almirola. Stuart Haas teammates are side by side. Both towards the bottom of the playoff grid. Schneider with a big run on both of them after they were side drafting each other, and he'll steal the positions away on a 3-wide pass into turn 3. But as he slides all the way back up the racetrack, he'll stay in front of the 10. Boyer will try to cross him back over, though. Back to that inside lane.
Careful, still there.
Say Schneider's car doesn't have the raw speed it had a couple nights ago at Fontana. Boyer with a block. Schneider going to crisscross to the inside of the 14 into turn 3 again.
All right, you're clear.
This time he'll hold clear for the 10th position. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. On the next dozen laps, 27 laps to go currently in stage 1. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Stretcher, you think Kevin Harvick's going to be on the don't haves? He's had good runs on the super speedways this year. He was in the running late at Daytona just a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and then if I remember right, he was up towards the front of Talladega earlier this year too. That final restart, he was inside the top 4. He was the one pushing Blaney on the restart, I believe. And I think he had a top 10 in the Daytona 500, if I'm not mistaken as well. I don't know if I'm going to put him on my don't-haves. I don't think he'll be on my must-haves either. I'll have to look at the statistics and try to back it up in the next couple of days. I think you're going out there, you're being bold about your prediction a few days at a time. Calling your shots. Wanted a street race though. I'm on it. I'm fine if NASCAR doesn't run it like street course races, because I honestly I've watched IndyCar races on street courses, and I've watched even one F1 race on a street course. I just feel like traditional road courses put on better racing than street courses. I just feel like it's too narrow. There's not a lot of passing lanes. And the only real shot to make passes is hoping something happens to the driver in front of you accident-wise, which is more possible on a street course because of how narrow it is. It's definitely tough on the drivers, but overall racing product itself kind of sucks. I wasn't a huge fan of the Nashville street course race earlier this year. I thought it was just a whack fest. It was just not good as a traditional racing fan. That was new, and I just feel like if NASCAR raced on a street course, what you saw in Nashville earlier this year would be very similar to seeing NASCAR on a street course, honestly. And I feel like fans would be up for it because I hate to say it, but fans do like crashes. I particularly, don't really care. Races go caution free. I'm okay with that. I just love watching racing. I love to see drivers on the edge of control be able to save their cars and put cars into tight positions and squirmy conditions as like, oh man, how did they make it through there without a wreck? Those are my favorite moments. Not when they actually do that. I like to see those close battles. Now, as a fan watching on TV, if Blaney's in a situation where he needs a caution, then I kind of hope that there's a caution, but I hope it's not something that it just ends somebody's nice day they had running it. I prefer it to be for debris or something. Somebody blows a tire and sheds debris. Not blowing a tire and smacking the wall at 180 miles an hour either. I mean, legitimate. Down the straightaway, tire gets out. It's in the pit road, there's debris on the track. It's quick cleanup too. The cautions aren't as lengthy if you get a restart, which is crazy. I think the 14th different winner in Talladega. Look at that. You're gonna take Ross Chastain to win that race. That's a bold prediction. Chastain was good on the super speedways at Colleague, but his Achilles heel is just being too aggressive. And we've seen that has cost the drivers so many times over the last couple of years alone. That we see drivers be overly aggressive on the super speedways and they haven't gotten the job done. Like Chase Elliott in the Summer Daytona race. Perfect example of you don't have to make aggressive blocks to win these races. Seemingly are the races that end under the green flag on the super speedways. And Brad Keselowski did a great job of being able to do that earlier this season. Schneider going down to the apron as they were 4 wide through the tri-oval. Got it to stick, and that is going to give him the lead. All those drivers for position that were under a blanket right there of Logano, Blaney, Keselowski, and Elliott. And Schneider shot around them 4 wide with the lap car in between them of Justin Haley down onto the apron. Schneider leads now as they come to 16 laps to go in stage 1. Yeah, a lot of you guys in the chat, at least this year, were at Sonoma, or those live near Sonoma, so you guys are getting a truck date along with your cup date. It's pretty cool. Especially if you're typically watching the weekend races. But yeah, your thoughts on like Knoxville are kind of mine. I'm disappointed with it to a certain extent, but at the same time, I'm all for giving it a second try. Now, it was as bad as what it was because it was the driver's fault, not so much the track. The track had a little bit to do with it, but it was mostly the drivers. Let's be honest. A lot of these drivers, yeah, they don't have experience racing on dirt cars, but a lot of those guys have been in the Truck Series the last few years that they've raced at Eldora. The races at Eldora were honestly similar to how they ran at Knoxville anyway, especially that 2019 Eldora race, which was the last race of Eldora for the Truck Series. Same thing happened. Schneider currently working with lap traffic. Going up the middle 3 wide through the tri-oval. The pass went out from Bubba Wallace. Matt DiBenedetto having a 4 run for the 2nd straight race to start the playoffs. Currently in 28th. Already 1 lap down. He's about to go 2 laps down. Problematic for the Quaker State 21 team here tonight. And they may be putting themselves in a near must-win situation going into Watkins Glen later tonight. Got to cut a race sometime soon. Yeah, it's almost the end of the season. Fortunately, if you had no plans of going to one, tough to map it out. One safe pick in Keselowski. Yeah, hey, that's a good safe pick. He's won there 6 times. Won there earlier this year, too. Yeah, it said Half was fast in the pre-race. Now he's struggling. I don't understand either. I wasn't expecting to compete for a win or anything. I was expecting like top 20. And he's not even in the top 25. 2 laps down as well. IndyCar seems to wreck turn 1 on the start and or have some sort of car go off the track at turn 1 at Portland the last couple of years. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. Especially if you don't have a lot of practice next year like this year. Which I'm not going to buy into until I completely see. How fast the 150 horsepower thing. He's still in the top 30 though, so what does that mean for the drivers that are behind him? You got the 50 horsepower back. Those weed whacker engines. Ever been to like a... If you've raced like go-karts or something, they have a series that's typically called like King Karts. And it's like kids that are ages like 6 and younger. And they're like as slow as molasses. You know, like when you go to those like public karting places where you have like the governors on the engines and stuff, it's like that, but like a quarter of the speed of those. Like they're super slow. Like I could run faster than those King cars. Not as long, obviously, because they'll be like 10-lap races and stuff. You're not gonna just sprint 10 laps aimlessly around a, you know, 8 to a quarter-mile dirt track. They're really slow. That's kind of the pack on these NASCAR Heat 5 games when you're outside the top 30. Which was us at one point in time. Don't forget, we were there. When we first started this career mode, in less than 2 full seasons, look at the dominance we're seeing out of Season 2 with Keegan Schneider. I didn't even think he was a playoff threat like he was last year, and he ended up winning 5 races and making it to the round of 8. Just 1 point shy of making it to the championship 4 in that round of 8. Like that comment, Tyler. Got 9 people watching currently right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We're late in stage 1 at the Kentucky Speedway. Doubleheader tonight due to not streaming last night. So we're going to finish up this round of 16 of our final career mode season on NASCAR Heat 5. After this race, we'll run at Watkins Glen. That start time is scheduled for 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little bit after the finish of this race so I can get all the points calculated and accumulated for the start of that one. You do not see the points on the left side of your screen like you have the last couple races because for whatever reason it was not saving my image when I tried to crop it out. So I'll show that again here at the end of stage 1, what it was like coming into the race at least. I will not adjust those points until after the end of race 1, and then at the start of race 2, Watkins Glen. I'll do the same thing, but unfortunately for tonight's races, I'm not going to be able to show you guys on the screen what the points are looking like. Sorry for that, but the computer wasn't, for whatever reason, allowing me to save the edited and cropped out version of those photos. Jason Hebner, welcome to the stream. That is definitely one of those conspiracy theories for sure. It's one that some people would probably be able to get behind. Ryan Newman going to go a lap down here late in the stage. Coming to the final lap of stage 1 this time by. So Newman in 16th will be the free pass car. Shutters out to a 15-second lead roughly, 14.5 off turn 4 on Joey Logano. He runs in second place. Logano coming off a second place finish 2 nights ago at the Auto Club Speedway. All 3 Penske cars inside the top 5, 2 of them. And then the top 3, Blaney's been close, but hasn't quite gotten there. Remember, Blaney spun back at lap 1 in this race as well. We've had 2 cautions for incidents so far. Our first green-white checkered flag in the air as Schneider comes off turn 4. 38th stage win of this dominating season so far. What a start to the night in the Quaker State 400. I was kind of joking when I said let's get to 50 stage wins, but if we keep winning them, it's going to help us. That's another playoff point that's going to carry into the next round of the playoffs as well. And everybody will be taking their second pit stop of the race during the stage break here. No adjustment for the 99 car. And again, free pass went to Ryan Newman in 16th place there. Ryan Priest still the only driver out of the race. Saw him blow an engine in between when the first and the second caution had waved during that green flag run. Gregson won your Martinsville race.
All right, be smart out there. Going green. Almost ready now.
Green flag back in the air. Schneider leads the field to the green again at Kentucky. Last restart was pretty wild. Logano trying to get down on that right rear corner panel. He had his teammate Logano, or Keselowski, right behind the 22 of Logano. Schneider went up there to block and try to pull clear. Joey's going to lose second place to Chase Elliott now, and Elliott's going to try to go for the lead into turns 3 and 4 as he looks to the high side. He's just going to blow around Schneider off turn 4. Look at Logano coming in with a head of steam for second place to the high side. He's got a major run. Blaney down low, and Schneider's going to lose the bottom lane. He's just going to go straight backwards. It's crazy how slow this car is at the beginning of the run. Johnson had to lift. Boyer's now cracked the top 10.
Careful, go back. Got one peeking inside.
Elliott leading the race still.
Car there on the inside.
So again, he kind of takes to the high side. Schneider finds himself back in line in the 10th position. Johnson lost a bunch of spots in the restart as well.
Still there.
Schneider just going to ride in line behind the 78 of McLeod. Just try to hopefully hang on to his current position. Side by side for the lead.
Careful.
Down the back straightaway, Blaney got to the inside of Elliott. Blaney all the way to the bottom. Logano trying to side draft the 9. And Blaney is clear off turn 4 to the lead. 3 wide out of the rear view of Schneider. Johnson got the run off the high side again.
3 wide now.
Truex down to the apron. Almost got underneath the 99 and taking 3 wide again into 1. Still 3 wide up there towards the front. I think Elliott's still in the mix up there. Then you got Keselowski and Hamlin.
Still there.
Blaney out of the top of the track, and he's about to lose the race lead to Kevin Harvick.
Car high. Careful. You're all clear out there.
Schneider has not fallen back as far as what he did at last restart when he fell all the way back to 16th. He's back to 11th, though, just outside the top 10.
Got a car coming inside now. All right, you're clear there.
Bush going to go to the high side and try to get a run on Martin Truex Jr. So he side drafts him in the tri-oval. Truex down to the apron to get away from the one of Kurt Busch. Hamlin out of the inside of Harvick for the race lead as it has changed hands a few times now after the restart. Schneider led coming to the line, but he never led a green flag lap here in stage 2. From Chase Elliott led for about 2 laps, and Blaney led for a couple laps. Harvick led for a couple laps. Now Hamlin's in the lead off 4. Truex finally gets around Schneider, blows past him off turn 4, and he'll quickly get to the inside of McLeod, likely into turn 1 for 10th place.
Hold your line. Got one inside. Clear low. Looking inside now. Still there.
Top 6 still under a blanket. Her push pulls clear. Schneider backing up to 13th now. Good sized run though into turns 1 and 2. Kurt got a little loose off the exit of the corner, trying to pin his car down. Schneider to the high side now into turn 3. Ducks in line in the center of the corner. Right behind Kurt Busch. Trying to follow Kurt as Kurt makes the pass on BJ McLeod. Well, was in the top 5 after that second to last restart we had midway through stage number 1. Yeah, I did see that also, that Stenhouse signed full-time with JTG Doherty next year. I think Priest deserves a full-time. I'd say Stenhouse. Stenhouse has performed better than Priest in that team's equipment the last few years. I mean, Priest has been with that team for 3 full-time seasons now, and Stenhouse, he's literally beaten him in points all those seasons. If you count this year, so far Stenhouse is ahead of Priest this year in points as well. So I mean, the statistics say Stenhouse, and I'm sure Stenhouse probably brings in more sponsorship than Priest as well. So the statistics are showing sign Stenhouse over Priest, and not only the statistics but the sponsorship money is saying Stenhouse over Priest likely as well. So it's just kind of a double whammy. I think Priest is talented. He showed that talent in the Xfinity Series. He won some races, but maybe he needs better equipment in the Cup Series. But with JTG Doherty, and I know Stenhouse has a lot more years experience than Priest. Don't get me wrong. That definitely comes into play. But if you're Brad Doherty or if you're at ownership of JTG Doherty Racing, I think you made the right move. I think Stenhouse is the right guy if you had to pick between him and Priest. I think Stenhouse gives you a better shot to win on the super speedway races too. Another race that I think he's got a good shot to win in is Bristol Dirt. He finished second there last season. Honestly, it looked like if he had a few extra laps, he probably would have caught Logano and won the race. But after that restart, that final restart, I think between the 4 super speedway races and the dirt race, those are winning opportunities for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. More so than Priest. And I don't think Priest can really win any race in that car. He's had good runs on the super speedways, but it's different from Stenhouse. Stenhouse is up there because he is good at super speedways. Priest is, he'll qualify well, but just because the Chevys always have qualifying speed on the super speedways. But as far as Priest himself, the only real reason he gets top 10s is riding at the back and surviving. To the high side of Jimmy Johnson as they battle it out for the 7th place position. Johnson not really being aggressive with the side draft down the back straightaway, and Schneider pulls clear into turn 3. Side by side for second between Hamlin and Harvick again, as Keselowski's pulled away. Seems like when Brad gets in the lead, he's one of those few cars towards the front of the field that's able to pull away on the short run, and now we got 3 wide cars. Oh, we got one parked on the bottom of the track. That's Tyler Reddick. No caution. And Reddick is just creeping around the racetrack. Schneider's up to second place all of a sudden off turn 2. The 3 wide, they were up in the wall, and you couldn't really see Reddick on the inside of the track who was parked. And Schneider almost ran into the back of him. The track where Schneider's had a lot of bad luck in the top 3 series in this career mode at Kentucky Speedway. Luckily, we don't have to deal with it in the next NASCAR game, but you'd like to go out with a win here, especially with it being a playoff race. Boy, what a big time miss that was, and a big hold your breath moment if you're fans of the 99. Tyler Reddick pulling on to pit road finally. I mean, he was parked. I don't know how that wasn't a caution. Car was totaled too on the front.
Careful, still there. All right, clear low.
It's another crazy thing you see on the NASCAR Heat 5 video game. Between that and the curb special we had at Martinsville the last time we were there. What else is going to happen before we run our course with this game? Reddick may have DNF'd. I would not be surprised. That car was demolished. He was on pit road. Reddick was not qualified for the playoffs like he was in real life this season. He missed out. Keselowski still in lap traffic. It's still leading the race. 57 to go in stage 2. I've watched a couple episodes of Lost Speedway. The only reason I even really have Peacock is just because of I should say, first of all, the only episodes of Lost Speedway I've watched is during NASCAR rain delays on NBC. And then I do have Peacock. That's only because of the WWE Network moving over there, so I watch my pay-per-views, all my old WWE stuff too that I like watching.
Still there. You're all clear on top there.
Schneider's made that apron work off the exit of turn 2 today. 4 times has even gone down there through the tri-oval as well. Got a run on Keselowski up turn 4 as Brad slips up the racetrack. Low exit to the corner for Schneider. Schneider leads that lap of the line. He pulls up and blocks Keselowski now easily clear well before they get into turn 1. And Schneider's back out in front on another long run here at Kentucky. Oh, I thought that was going to spin Quinn Houff. He actually, with that contact in the back of the 00, that just shot him by Corey LaJoy. Houff back to 31st now to Benedetto back to 30th. He continues to lose spots and lose laps. And at the end of stage 2, we will show you that playoff leaderboard. We've seen where most of the drivers have ran so far tonight. Kind of judge that based off of where the points were looking like coming into the race. Yeah, there's going to be one race on Peacock for IndyCar next year at Detroit. Which I'm thinking about going there. I'm thinking about going to Belle Isle to watch that street course race. I kind of wanted to go this year, but I ended up going to Mid-Ohio instead for the Xfinity race. But I believe Mid-Ohio next year is in July. Or, sorry, not July, but it's a week later than what it was this year. I don't know. I'll have to look at the scheduled dates again to get it lined up. I'm still trying to prepare what tracks I want to go to next year. There's only a couple that I know for a fact I'm going to, like the Daytona 500. I definitely plan on going to Talladega again next year. I'm not sure if I'm going to the spring or the fall. I'm probably looking at the fall race, only because a lot of the tracks I'm going to next year are going to be in the spring. Like this year, they were all like from, I guess it would be late May to early July were like most of the races I went to this year. Most of the races I'm going to next year are early in the season. Just because a lot of those tracks I haven't been to yet. Mid-Ohio got removed from the... Yeah, but they're on the Truck Series schedule. Yeah, Belle Isle, I mean, I've been to Detroit many times, but I haven't been to there. I mean, it's basically like an island separating Detroit and Windsor. Detroit River goes into Lake Michigan. Lake Erie, rather. Not Lake Michigan. NASCAR LOL, welcome to the stream. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh man. Trucks are going there though, so I'll probably end up going to the truck race. The only reason I'm thinking about going to that IndyCar race too is just because it's so close. I mean, I only live like an hour and 15 minutes south of Detroit. Been to one IndyCar race now, and that was at the Indianapolis Road Course last month, August. That was a pretty cool experience. I wanted to go to the Mid-Ohio race last year, and it was literally the same day of Road America, and I was at Road America for the Cup race. So. I do know for a fact that they race at Mid-Ohio next year on the weekend I wouldn't be at a NASCAR race. I think it's that same weekend they're at Road America again, so maybe a potential chance I go to that one. And one other weird thing, I noticed that the trucks are not racing the same weekend at Mid-Ohio as IndyCar. I feel like I don't understand why they don't do that. Like, why the Xfinity Series and IndyCar run on different weekends. I feel like you can sell more tickets if you ran the Xfinity and the IndyCar race. You know, if not the same day, run like IndyCar on Sunday and the Xfinity Series on Saturday. Or now that you got the trucks going there, run the truck race on Saturday, IndyCar on Sunday. I feel like you'd sell more tickets for it. Well, Stenhouse going to go 2 laps down in the 20th position. We've not had a caution in this stage, although we should have for Tyler Reddick being wrecked. She parked on the bottom of the track at turns 1 and 2 earlier, and we still didn't get the yellow. R6, welcome to the stream. .43 laps to go. 3 wide with the lap cars up ahead. 8-second lead now for Schneider over Keselowski. Almost halfway through the second stage. Quite a bit longer these guys can go on fuel yet as well. Probably the race of the night is going to be when we go to my personal favorite road course, Watkins Glen. And it will be the elimination race of the round of 16 of the playoffs as well. That coverage begins on the channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New to the channel, subscribe. Also, hit that like button if you haven't already. Got 8 people currently watching, and as many as 9 watching this early race today. And only 3 likes right now.
Still there. Got a car high now.
Kyle Busch back to 17. Very strange, especially in Kentucky, a place he's won at 3 times in his Cup Series career. Not off to a good run in this one, and he's going to lose a lap. Right side for him, he was 46 points above the cutoff line coming into the race, so he can afford one race like this. He's going to have to not afford to run there again when we go to Watkins Glen later tonight.
All right, you're clear.
Bristol Light Race and Gateway. Yeah, tracks, so I mentioned Daytona. It's not 100%, but I really want to get out to Auto Club next year, with it being the last year at the 2-mile track. But because it's the week after the Daytona 500, it's going to be really hard. And I'm trying to think logistically how I could do it. Like, I'd get back from Daytona probably the Tuesday after the 500, and then I'd work the rest of the week from Wednesday on. And then probably fly out on Saturday to California. I'd have to fly. I mean, especially coming from Daytona, I'd have to go home. Like, I mean, logistically, I could drive, but I literally not be able to work at all that week. I'd have to take an extended vacation. I don't have that many vacation days, and if I did do that, I wouldn't be able to go to as many other races if I did it down there. So I'd have to fly to Auto Club, and I'd fly out the Saturday and just come back the day after the race.
Still there. Road clear.
But Bristol Dirt was another race that I'll be at next year. I wanted to go this year, didn't get the tickets soon enough, so next year I'll be going to Bristol Dirt. Definitely going to Atlanta next year, the new configuration, so I'll get to see a track at Old Atlanta a couple years before they repaved it, and then this coming year with the new one, see, in my personal opinion, what I thought was a better race. Especially if it's a similar package for the intermediates, which is kind of sounded like it may be that way. So we got, let's see, that's 2. 2 trips to Atlanta. That'd be 4, and then I'd definitely go into Gateway next year to be in the first year of the Cup Series schedule. And that's only about 7-hour drive for me, so compared to most of these tracks are 8+ hours, I'll take that 1 less hour drive compared to a lot of tracks that are 8-9 hours away from me. So I will take that. And
Stay on the ball. You got room. You're clear.
we got Gateway. I would expect a pretty good crowd there. But there's definitely going to be some other tracks. Obviously, inside Uranus, wherever he picks, or what track he's going to want to go to. He's been in the chat a couple times since then. I haven't been able to get a hold of him yet. I guess I got a while. Next time I see him in the chat, or if you guys see him in the chat, mention the contest. Maybe I'll get him running around here. I know school's starting back up. I don't know how old he is. Maybe that has something to do with it. He's around. I've seen him even before he was a subscriber to this channel. I noticed him in the chat during the NASCAR Weekly podcast and all that. I actually knew of him before he even subscribed to the channel, and didn't really have a channel himself. He was just in the chat of a lot of other NASCAR stuff. One big happy community. There we go. A couple more likes just rolled in. Thanks for that. Whoever hit the like button.
Say hi, say hi.
Earl Arnold Jr., welcome to the stream.
Still there. You're clear all around there.
Take to Twitter and let off some steam. There you go. That seems like the place to do it. I've heard Twitter's pretty hostile. I have a Twitter account, but I only tweeted like one thing a few months ago. I'm not very active on there. You can follow me there. That's in the description. Follow me on Instagram as well. That I definitely try to post up when I go to tracks. Schneider's definitely lapped inside the top 10. This is the longest green flag run to start a stage. Blaney and Elliott going to go a lap down in 3 and 4 as well. Schneider's got a 19.5-second lead on Brad Keselowski. And now is lapped inside the top 5. 31 laps to go still at stage 2. I think it's just NASCAR fans in general are super toxic on Twitter. I don't think it's just Elliott fans. Oh, you got uncles that live around the area. Yeah, it's a beautiful track. I've been to a decent amount of road course races now, and that's my favorite road course. You haven't been to Dakota, haven't been to Sonoma yet. I mean, if the Cup Series ever goes to Portland, I guess I'll be there. But I haven't been to those tracks yet. Second half of this run, tires are definitely starting to wear out. 19% on the right front. 28%. And 3 cars on the lead lap now. Harvick just went a lap down. You see Denny Hamlin getting stuck behind 2 lap cars off turn 2. Schneider coming in hot. Hamlin's going to go a lap down into 3. That is very true, Earl. Wrestling fans are more toxic than NASCAR fans. I can confirm. It's as if every wrestling fan knows the ins and outs of wrestling. Like, I know stuff because I watch stuff on YouTube, but I don't take to the comment section of every video and, like, this person's being buried, and this person's not being pushed right. I just watch it to watch it. There's some stuff I don't like, there's some stuff I do like. And I don't get why people get so mad about it. Especially when it's like, it's different because it is, you know, a scripted form of entertainment. You know, it isn't real. I like to treat it like it's real. Like, personally, I do. But it's, you know, I treat it like a sport, but not to that extent where, you know, I'm bashing every decision a company makes. I don't agree with everything, but oh yeah, for sure. No, it's like that with like every company, not just WWE, for sure. Caution's out for the 3rd time for incident today. Jimmy Johnson may have an issue, may have been the factor of that yellow. We're going to be seeing pit stops. We're coming close to green flag stops, but not quite going to see them under green. We'll see them under the caution. Maybe Japan's not that toxic. Well, that's because, like, fans in Japan, they're kind of weird with their wrestling. Like, they don't really get loud. They're kind of quiet. It's like a theater. It's like going to a theater and everything's like really quiet, and then at the end they clap. Oh yeah, that's good. Like during the matches, it's just kind of strange. So I don't see them being toxic. I think Americans are just toxic because we have, like, I don't know. I don't understand why people are as toxic as they are. Like, this country is so much better than a lot of other countries out there. We have it good, but people complain about every little thing. I just never understand why. Like, I'm not, you know, narcissistic to this fact. I'm like, why can't more people be like me because I'm me? But why can't more people be like me in the sense of just take everything with a grain of salt? You know, not everything is got to be gigantically blown out of proportion with anger. just let it go.
Careful, still there.
Schneider side drafted Kevin Harvick. Tri-oval, a lot of these drivers trying to get back on the lead lap. Keselowski stuck back in traffic. He wants to get to the lead. Oh, big block for Schneider on Chase Elliott. Trying to side draft Blaney in the process. Blaney and Elliott going to the high side now in turns 3 and 4. Elliott's going to go up the middle, 3 wide. Brad Keselowski still trying to look for the lead on Schneider. Free pass, by the way, went to Denny Hamlin during that caution. He got 20 laps to go in stage 2. Keselowski's got a good short run car. If he gets to the lead, he may have a chance to win this stage. Keselowski might get a run off the high side. Schneider's going to go up and try to block it off turn 4 as he slides up in front of the 2. Brad coming up there with a run again. Schneider's just picking the same lane as him. Trying to put Brad in as much dirty air as possible. Even if that means giving up the bottom of the track to Eric Almirola like he did that time. And again, he's going to slide up in front of the 2. The 2 can't get the car to rotate to the bottom, and he almost gets sideswiped by his teammate Joey Logano now as well. A lot of these drivers get back on the lead lap. Schneider's not really worried about him. He's worried about Denny Hamlin. Or sorry, about Brad Keselowski. Hamlin, though, meanwhile, further back, about 3.5 seconds off the lead still. Schneider's really driving out of his rear view. On this restart, just trying to track the 2 car. Brad to the high side again, Schneider with a block. The 3 wide in front of the 99, in fact, as well. So the dirty air definitely not playing into his favor whatsoever right now. Boyer slides up the track behind the 78 car, right in front of the 10 of Almirola. Schneider hooked to that yellow line on the inside of the track through 1 and 2 as again he stays in front of Keselowski. It's going to be a good battle to the end of stage 2 between the 2 and the 99. I just feel like, though, once the 2 gets around Schneider, it might be game over. Schneider side drafts Byron. Tries to stay side by side, but he definitely wants to stay on the bottom now that the 2 is there. Pulls up and clears the 24. Now he's underneath the 14 of Boyer getting into turns 3 and 4. Oh, and Keselowski just got to the high side. Schneider trying to side draft him for all he can, but it wasn't enough. Schneider stuck 3 wide now into turn 1. Well behind the 2 car. Can't pull clear. And now they're 4 wide in turns 1 and 2. That definitely could have been a lot more dicey than what it was. Schneider slides back in front of Almirola. Can't quite clear the 24. 3 wide and tight again. Keselowski pulling away with the lead. 14 laps to go in stage 2. Schneider's car come in soon enough on this run to run the 2 back down again. And, well, how about this? We get another caution. Clint Boyer will get the free pass in 8th, and all those drivers that got around the 2 and the 99 on the restart are going to be back on the lead lap. Denny Hamlin, who restarted at the back, is also going to be back in the mix. And Schneider will pit for his 4th time tonight for fresh tires. He's going to have to restart in 7th, so he'll be in the preferred lane on the inside, and he's only going to drop back a couple rows. Looks like he's the only lead lap driver that will pit this time. Oh, here we go.
Almost ready now.
Green flag back in the air. Yeah, I mean, some people like stuff, some people don't. I mean, it's wrestling. Especially if it's like a one-on-one match, there's only 2 people. It's just like with sports teams. Like, there's fans for each side.
Still there?
Not as toxic as WWE fans for some reason. Sit back and enjoy. Hopefully you're sitting back and enjoying this race as business has really picked up since the end of the second stage. Blaney get caught in the middle there. Schneider on this restart trying to challenge 10 laps to go. Chase Elliott wants a shot to win the stage on Keselowski. Elliott, a non-playoff driver. Schneider got a clear Hamlin high off turn 3. Turn 2, 4th, 3rd. Got onto the inside of Hamlin for position now as well. Schneider in the dirty air though. Keselowski in the clean air. That is the big difference maker here. Schneider with a run on Elliott. Half a car on the apron off the exit of turn 2. And he's underneath Elliott into 3. It'll take away the second place position. All clear off turn 4. Now trying to go after the leader. 8 to go in the stage. Fresh tire advantage definitely going to help Schneider. He's got a run on Keselowski in the middle of 1 and 2. Being aggressive. How low he was running off the exit of the corner again. Now he dive bombs into turn 3. Slides up in front of Keselowski. All clear. And Brad got tight as soon as the 99 pulled up in front of him. Schneider is going to lead at the start-finish line. And leads at Kentucky with 7 to go in stage 2. Elliott trying to fight back on Keselowski into turn 1 again. Brad on the high side. Elliott to the bottom. They're door-to-door for second with Logano on the high side. Blaney going with a 3-wide maneuver that could give him second place. He has cleared Elliott. Now he's just trying to clear his teammate. Brad trying to pinch and side draft him. No longer 3 wide, but they are still side by side. Really 2 by 2 because Elliott's still underneath the 22 of Logano as well. And Blaney finally clears Keselowski, and now Elliott will fall into the inside of the 2. 5 to go in stage 2. Crucial stage points on the line. Schneider pits at the stage break, which he still plans on. He'll have 3 sets of tires left in the final stage. We're pitting this extra time in stage 2. We have a long green flag run to start the final stage like we did here in stage 2. That should be no problem whatsoever. And ideally, it probably won't be an issue either because it should only be 1 stop scheduled for the final stage anyway. So if we do get a couple cautions in the final stage, that could split some strategy. He could at least choose to pit. He'd have that option available for him if he chooses to take tires. Chase Elliott has now cleared Blaney off turn 4 for second. The non-playoff driver, who on those older tires doesn't have a shot to catch Schneider for the stage win, but he can hold off the Penske trio behind him. He could possibly have a better starting position for the start of the final stage. Still going to try to go for that first win of the year. Two-second gap between first and second. 2 to go at the line. Schneider trying to sweep the stages for the first 2 playoff races now. Yeah, Blaney spun lap 1. He actually got back inside the top 5 at the end of stage 1. Maybe finished 5th in the first stage. Spinning lap 1. Luckily, he didn't have hardly any damage from it. Has survived, and now he's fighting for second. Keselowski clears Elliott for second place off turn 4. Final lap now on the second stage of the night. in race 1. We've got 3 cars out of the race now as well. Breeze was the only one who DNF'd in stage 1, so we'll take a look at who those 3 drivers are. Tyler Reddick is one of them. We saw how damaged his car was earlier in the stage. Not sure who the 3rd is. Schneider wins stage 2. Stage win number 39 here this season as he sweeps the stages at Kentucky. Definitely off to the best start he has ever had at the Speedway. Really in every event he has ran here, Cup Series, Xfinity, or Trucks. We'll be seeing pit stops again. 3 sets of tires left to the end of the race. William Byron in 9th place will get the free pass. And there are the drivers that will get stage points in stage 2. Only 9 playoff drivers in the top 10 were Chase Elliott in 3rd and William Byron in 9th. The rest were all playoff drivers. I believe Jimmy Johnson was the other driver that DNF'd. Yes, it was. So Johnson, Reddick, and Priest are the 3 drivers out of the race so far. Right as I said that, Tyler said it too. Perfect time there. Green flag back in the air at Kentucky. 104 laps to go in race 1 of our doubleheader to finish the round of 16. All 3 Penske cars have been in the top 5 all night, as well as Chase Elliott. Schneider winning the first 2 stages. Blaney to 2nd on the restart, getting by his teammate Keselowski. He's got a lot more lead lap cars to try to hang on compared to the second to last restart he had, the last one where he restarted in the lead. He will lead the opening green flag lap of stage 3, longer than what he held on at the beginning of stage 2. And they're gonna, I thought they were gonna split him 3 wide. Schneider's able to get back in front of the 12 at least in time, but he's gonna get freight train on the bottom. Logano initially is gonna take the lead. Hamlin to 2nd, Kurt Busch to 3rd. Harvick looks like he's gonna go for 4th. Actually, Kurt's the first driver 1 lap down. Man, what a restart for him. Back in that 5th road, he's already up side by side with Harvick now. He's the 3rd place car. He got back to the bottom. Pulling off Blaney and Keselowski for now. Yeah, definitely going to be some brand shifting. I think New Day is going to be reunited now that Big E's the champ. Especially if I'm interfering the other guy on Raw. I guess not interfering, more saving him from an interference from Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely going to be one of the bigger moves that I just kind of have a feeling it's going to... everything else, though, I have no clue what direction they're going with anything.
Got one peeking inside. Car high, careful there.
3 wide still. Briefly, at least, on corner entry. They're still hanging on to 6. Chase Elliott right behind him. Definitely the best restart Schneider's had. Really the best 2 restarts he has had have been the last 2 when he's restarted in the lead. Not going to count that last one. When he was on fresher tires, Elliott catches the left rear of the 99. Knocked him up out of the groove there. I think picks to run well at Dega. Now look at Denny Hamlin. I mean, the season he has had, the consistency, how good he is. He won the playoff race at Dega last year, too. I think he's going to have a good run. I think Byron was in early trouble again this round, could have a good run. He's pretty good on the super speedways, has 1 win there in the last couple of years. On super speedways, that is. Daytona in the summer race last year. He finished 2nd in the Dega playoff race last year as well. So think those are probably the two that popped to my mind. Blaney, I mean, he's proven just as good as those other two drivers on the super speedways. Those are probably the three best super speedway races with this current aero package on the super speedways. I don't think there's much of an argument either.
Careful, still there.
They're trying to dive bomb underneath Busher. Busher now has gotten around Kurt Busch and is in the free pass position. Actually, McLeod got by Kurt Busch as well. He's trying to get around the 17 of Busher. Schneider dive bomb to the apron in grade 4. And aggressively on that apron throughout the course of the night in the middle of the corners, and it's actually worked out for him for the most part. That could be in the fantasy league next year. I mean, it's your call. Obviously, you don't have to. I appreciate you still watch the channel. That's the big thing. The fantasy league is just kind of an added bonus more for you guys. So just a chance to compete against me. I think it's just kind of fun. It's free, obviously, and got a chance to win 2 tickets to any race if you're choosing. You know, why not try it? But yeah, hey, if not really liking it, then obviously you don't have to do it. I believe it automatically saves you, so like you'd have to completely remove yourself. I mean, obviously, if you don't have a lineup in every week, you're not going to get any points. But I know, like the NASCAR Weekly Podcast League I'm in as well. I'm in 2 leagues. I literally put the same entry in for both the leagues, so I have the same amount of points, just to see where I stack up in that one and then in ours. Yeah, it saves you from year to year. Earl's falling out of it. They'll come back. They always come back. I think it's funny watching my so I have 2 grandpas that watch NASCAR, but one of them like really got me into it. You know, I'd say, or got me into racing and stuff. Not that one, but the other one that watches it. Not quite as diehard of a fan, so when like anything was going on with the Confederate flag, even though he's not from the South, I hate to say that, but it kind of shows who he may be. But anyway, it's just funny watching him bounce in and out of sports. Like, oh, I'm done with this. Or like, in 2014 with the playoffs, like, oh, I'm done with this. No, this is the last straw. This. Like any little thing, and then like he'll take a couple like small breaks. He'll not watch a race for a couple months, but he's usually busy doing something else anyway. And I don't feel like that's the issue. He just has to do that, man. Wish they made Blaney Dave Blaney to believe in the 500 that year because of the jet dryer. Oh man, that would have been. Imagine if they called that race that year. That would have been the most awkward ending to a NASCAR race of all time. Like, we've had rain-shortened races, fog-shortened races, but a jet dryer explosion-shortened race would that would probably easily top the list. I don't think anything would come anywhere close to it, to be quite honest. Definitely be the most outlandish. They're on the outside of Denny Hamlin side by side. 6th place. Ooh, little contact. Schneider crowded him. A little too much there. Got to be careful.
All clear. Inside.
Side draft him off 4. Hamlin holds clear. Shot from behind in the tri-oval. Oh! Hamlin loses the race car.
Still there.
Schneider gonna hustle down to the apron to try and get around him. And clear down the back straightaway. Definitely had to check up quite a bit. Hamlin probably just carried a little bit more speed than what he thought going into the corner was going to be possible. Schneider gave him a bump trap, middle of the tri-oval, very light. The physics of this game had probably knocked him sideways into the corner, even though the contact was well before the corner. But probably just carried a little bit extra speed in there was all. That is what upset the race car. He made a great save. So we're going to lose a little bit of ground. Schneider ends up still getting the 6th spot anyway. Got you into racing golf. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty much me. I wish I could have started golf at a younger age. I didn't start till I was like 17. 16. That might have been 16. Yeah, it would have been summer of me 16 turning into 17 is when I started. I've only been playing for like 6 years, but I just like think it's like, man, if I just would have started when I was like 10, you know, maybe even younger than that, if my dad would have gotten me into it. And it's weird because he plays, but he just never, you know, took the time out to give me clubs and, you know, show me it. But it is what it is. We still golf with each other now. We have fun doing it, but I'd be a lot better than what I am. I've been struggling bad the last couple months. I don't know what's going on. I played yesterday and I was complete garbage. I've been in a slump the last couple months. At that point, the season's like I don't want to just hang it up for the year. You know, it's starting to cool off. It's like I want to get out of it before the season ends. But I know as soon as the season ends and I'll have a couple months off during the off season, I'll be right back in great playing form again at the beginning of the next season. It's just like since like late July, I've just been struggling. Driving's fine, chipping's fine, irons are fine. Or putting's fine. You know, I can't hit my irons straight to save my life. I don't know what's going on. Usually it's because I'm splicing it, which is weird because I have like a natural pull or an actual draw to the ball. So like slicing it, like I haven't had that issue since I first started playing. So I'm like going through my head, you know, like trying to find all the fundamental errors and like whatever I'm doing is just not working. And then I'll try to like aim left and it'll slice even more right, or I'll actually hit it straight and it'll go way left. Like that's not the way to try and fix it. I'll go to a driving range and I'll fix it for a round or two, and then it just comes right back. It's weird. Like I'll go to the driving range, and you know sometimes I won't fix it at the driving range. Sometimes I do, and if I do fix it, it's like I'll go out and play golf the next day, and I'll be fine. And then the day after that, I may be fine. But then after like 2-3 days, it goes right back to slicing the ball again. Like why do I keep following like into this trap? Like I haven't found out the reason that is making me do that, because when I try to make a quick fix, you know, it fixes itself, but then it just kind of just goes right back to the way it is.
Careful, still there.
Oh, try out for a wrestling company. Maybe that's why you're not going to watch it. Well, now that makes sense. Hey, good for you, man. Yeah, that probably takes place on the weekends, too, so I can see that. There's so for like a year or two, lived with this, my mom's best friend. They live out in the woods, and they had like a condo that we lived in, you know, in between houses for a couple of years, and her younger brother was in professional wrestling. He moved down to Florida to chase his dream of being a professional wrestler. He's been wrestling on the indies for, I mean, pretty much since out of high school. So, like, I've always kind of been into wrestling. And I haven't met, I think I saw him one other time at, would have been Mom's best friend's wedding, like 7-8 years ago, and that was it. Like, that's the only time I've seen him since we lived there, really.
Stay low, stay low.
But we're going to Daytona next year, and he lives down in Florida. Thought it'd be cool. I'm down there for a week, you know, meet up like one night or whatever. Even though they live like 3 hours south, may make it work. I mean, for one night, why not? Probably have to be like that Wednesday night I get there or something. Because there'll be racing every other night. But yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I think there's problems with another playoff driver, and this may be the first playoff driver to exit from the night. John Hunter Nemechek was up in smoke and on pit road that last time through. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the lead at the front of the field between Brad Keselowski and Keegan Schneider. Brad trying to hold on strong. Schneider's going to pick Brad behind the 21 of De Benedetto, and that will give Schneider the lead off turn 4. Just south of the lap 200 marker, Schneider back in the lead with 75 to go at Kentucky. Trying to steal a win away from these other playoff drivers who are looking to clinch their way into the round of 12 like the 99 was able to do at Auto Club. Can't drive the ball. Yeah, and honestly, it took me until really last year to actually be able to hit the long ball with the driver, and now I'm just absolutely bombing shots. And that's why my game, it was good before, but it wasn't like, I mean, the first 5 years I played like 5-6 plus days a week. So I've played pretty often, and that's why I'm as good as I am for only playing 6, next year will be 7 years. It's just because of how much I play. You know, I'll drive after work to play 9 holes every day or 18 every day. And I've had a membership ever since I started playing. So, you know, if I walk, I'm playing for free on my home course. And I'll go to different courses when I travel to races. And, I try to, you know, every other week go to a different course, you know, somewhere around the area just to kind of change up, making sure I'm, you know, how I played at my home course, I can still, you know, shoot somewhere around there on other courses. But yeah, up until last year, I couldn't hit a ball very far with the driver. It's just something like just kind of clicked, like with my swing, and all of a sudden it just started bombing drives. And they've been down the middle. They've had that natural. It just looks beautiful.
Still there?
And even though I've been struggling with my irons the last couple months, like my driving's still 100% fine. Now it's just kind of like mentally in my brain that I just don't think I can mess up my drives consistently. Well, yeah, I'll have a bad one every now and then. You know, even professionals do that, but it's consistently like 280 to 300 yards consistently. Unless I'm going into the wind, like a heavy wind, then it'll be close to that like 250, 260 mark. But just feel comfortable in the tee box. So starting out a lot similar to how Stage 2 went, with a long green flag run to start the stage. As far as the green flag laps have gone already here, we have ran 35 laps. Green to start the final stage. We had 4 cautions for incident total tonight, 2 at each stage. 2 at the beginning of Stage 1, 2 at the end of Stage 2. Looked like cautions were going to start to bring cautions into the final stage, but then it kind of mellowed out again. Loosen the 3. Slide up the track. Still clearing Ricky Stenhouse Jr., putting him another lap down. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the final time in race number 1 of the doubleheader tonight. Still be running on Watkins Glen. Start time at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Due to not streaming last night. This was supposed to be last night's race. So again, I apologize for that. Just got home a little later and what I intended, and I didn't want to make it 2 late nights in a row on you guys. The only time I like starting races at 9 o'clock is if it's an Xfinity or a truck race, because they'll end the same time a cup race would start if I started the cup race at 8 o'clock or, between 7 and 8 o'clock. So it won't run late, but the Cup Series races, I just can't start that late. I did it the other night, and I was actually not that tired at work. For maybe like 10 minutes, it hit me after lunch, but then it kind of wore off immediately. Like after those 10 minutes, I was like, man, I'm a bit tired, but then I wore out of it. But yeah, I definitely couldn't do that 2 minutes in a row. I don't even like doing it to begin with, so that's all right. Making up for it here tonight. We have had some great racing action so far at Kentucky, and I'm sure Watkins Glen will be a great event. Road courses always seem to be good races on this video game. Not good in sports anyway. I played basketball even like before I actually played in high school. I would just kind of shoot around a lot. And, even like after I was done playing, I was kind of shooting around. But ever since high school ended, I think I've maybe only shot a basketball on like 2 different occasions. And they were both like within months, like that summer basically after graduating. So it's been like 3 years since a little over 3 years since I've shot a basketball. I'm pretty sure I'd stink now. And that was like the best part of my game was shooting. There's John Hunter Nemechek. He is back on the racetrack. The problem is, though, is he's lost more laps. Probably lost another lap or 2, having to go to pit road to replace that tire. Byron going to go lap down off turn 2, so now only 7 cars on the lead lap. Byron got the free pass in that last caution. It was Clint Boyer. I don't remember if he's on the lead lap or not. Maybe. He's going to go up the middle between Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer to do a trial. Squeezing his way through that tight gap, and he made it work. Dive bombs underneath Almirola. They're making it harder on these other playoff drivers not locked into the round of 16. Except for those Penske trio, they're all still in the top 5. And Elliott, second through 5th, those guys have been in the top 5 all night. It seems like even after the restarts, they're up there. It almost doesn't even seem possible that they're going to fall outside of the top 5, barring a catastrophic issue. Jay McLeod in ninth place. Currently 1 lap down, but he is in danger of losing that next lap. Been off to a good start in the playoffs. Obviously running 9th right now, but missed the playoffs by just over 20 points after that Martinsville race the other night. Back on Monday. They ran the regular season finale. Schneider's just absolutely been wheeling and dealing his way through the traffic so far. 60 laps to go in this race. The window to being able to make it on one stop to the end is open. there's a lot of people that like play sports all the way through the local, schools, high school. They stick around, keep in touch with their coaches. Hey, how's the team doing this and stuff? I mean, that's perfectly normal. I mean, even after I graduated, my sister still played basketball, and I was going to a lot of her games. And didn't make it to as many softball games because of the time of day, me getting off of work. I only went to a few. And then she got hurt this year, so I don't went to 3 games. She was out most of the season, but the season before that, I was keeping up with it. Even basketball during the winter, still I was keeping up with it. I'll be out golfing, and I'll see my golf coach out there this time of the year, August, September. I just ran into him again 2 days ago. I was out there on Tuesday night. So I see him a lot out there too. Well, caution is out for the 5th time tonight for incident. 58 laps to go. And we're going to be seeing our potential final pit stops. Clint Boyer will get the free pass in 7th place. We'll get back on the lead lap. Everybody from 9th on back. McLeod on back is 2 laps down. And these guys should be good on fuel to the end of the race from here. So this, if it is the final restart, these guys will not have to pit. We'll have to wait and see if it will be the final restart. Byron, the only driver, 1 lap down now, so if we do get another caution, he'll get the easy road to getting back on the lead lap. Green flag back in the air. 54 laps to go at Kentucky. Brad almost got into the wall into turn 1 after Schneider threw the block. He kept going up and up and up. Couldn't go up anymore, and he's going to lose a couple spots on the bottom to his teammates Logano and Blaney, who are both clear of him off turn 2. 24 car to the inside of Sasuke as well. What a restart for Byron. Blaney up high. He's going to block the 2 up there now. Oh, what a crossover by Logano, but Schneider was able to block the crossover attempt. Logano down to the apron trying to take a shortcut there. 3 wide now into turns 1 and 2, and here comes Ryan Blaney on the high side. Schneider got loose off the exit of the corner. And Brad gets loose getting into the corner, trying to stay underneath. There were 4 wide now for a very brief moment on entry into turn 3. And Blaney looked like he was going to take the lead, but it's actually Keselowski, who initially lost some ground on the restart, but he quickly got it back. Schneider with a deep dive into 1 and 2, slides back up the track. Kurt Busch nearly makes contact with Logano simultaneously. Schneider starting to go backwards. Really has to take care of his car, though, from here on out. Got 2 sets of tires left to the end of the race. If you do get any more cautions, he will likely end up pitting. Depending on how late they come, of course, and what position he is running in at the time of them coming out. A lot of ground to the top of the track that time. Back at 6th, but 14th place car of Truex has even gotten around him, so he's obviously lost a lot of ground on this restart. There's still 3 wide up there inside the top 5. Hamlin, Buescher, leave Logano as well. Buescher not on the lead lap. Hamlin and Logano are on the lead lap inside the top 4. Hamlin hasn't been up there quite as regularly as the others, but at times he has been in the top 5. Pretty much on the restarts when Schneider's not in there. Schneider got into the left rear of Eric Almirola in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
That was a better lap.
Schneider's fastest lap of the race still, though. 30.937 that last time. Schneider underneath the 10. Half a car down to the apron, getting into the corner to slide up. Almirola got really tight when the 99 pulled up in front of him. again, back to the inside now of Ryan Newman into turn 1. Now for position. Hamlin in 5th place will be the next driver in 4th position. 1.2 seconds ahead of him right now. Keselowski leads again on another short run. There's 47 laps remain at the Kentucky Speedway. Just think with the next NASCAR game coming out, this is our final race ever at Kentucky. Just like it was at Chicagoland earlier this year when we were there. We will not be seeing those two tracks on the next NASCAR video game. Even these tracks in the Xfinity and Truck Series that are standalone events, we will not see the next NASCAR game as well.
Stay low, stay low.
Inside Chris Buescher, not quite going to clear him off turn 2. Buescher is still there.
You got room, you're clear.
Blaney still holding on to 2nd place. Chase Elliott in 3rd. Logano 4th. Hamlin rounds out the top 5. Right behind race leader, of course, Brad Keselowski. I wouldn't say right behind him because Brad is pulling away. A few drivers actually getting that outside to work. Though Blaney been on the outside in 2nd place. He's been getting it to work as well. But he better be careful because Elliott and Logano are not that far behind him. Keselowski's got a gap, so he doesn't have to worry about somebody getting to his inside. Brad goes back down to the bottom in 3 and 4. And now they're 3 wide for 2nd place. Elliott and Logano underneath Blaney at the same time. They almost made contact. That would have been between the 9 and the 12 on the high side. Elliott files in line now behind Logano into the corner on the bottom lane. Logano should clear Blaney for 2nd place. Penske 1, 2, 3 at the front of the field. Though Elliott may take that 3rd spot away from Blaney in 3 and 4. And he may be able to get underneath Logano for 2nd. He's challenging him. He has cleared the 12. So it is full on attack mode now for 2nd place for Chase Elliott. We'll only have 6 top 10s on the season. No consistency really, and that is why he missed the playoffs. He would have been the 2nd driver below the cutoff line on points. Not too far behind BJ McLeod. Patrick Shadley, welcome back. In time for the finish. Race now Watkins Glen again later on tonight. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard start time. Just over an hour from now. All the points from this race will be accounted for. We'll have the updated point standings. And not on the left side of your screen due to an issue, for whatever reason, not being able to crop the initial photo I took. Screenshot.
Careful, still there.
Schneider's going to send it into 1 and 2.
Clear up top.
Feeling a little risky there. Cleared both Busch and Byron, but he slid up wide enough that Busch got back by him and Byron got back to the inside. The high side probably not going to work at 3 and 4, and Byron's going to be able to clear the 99 again as well. You can tell it's late in the race. Oh, big block by Busch on Byron. Byron checked up in the middle of the tri-oval to let the one in. Schneider had to evade to the high side. Nearly 3 wide. Schneider taking the dive. Chopped off by Byron, who made a big block. Schneider sends it back into 3 and 4 again. Almost making contact with Kurt Busch. Busch pulled him back with an aggressive side draft. These guys aren't even battling for position. I don't think any one of those 3 guys are on the same lap. Kurt Busch is 2 laps down, Byron's 1 lap down, and Schneider's on the lead lap. Battling like they're racing for the win between one another. Byron, first driver, 1 lap down. Only driver, 1 lap down, in fact. Busch going to try to cross over the 99 again. Schneider went too far wide off the exit of turn 4, trying to carry that momentum. Busch back down to the bottom into 1 and 2. Right in line behind the 24.
Still there.
Now he's underneath Byron into 3 and 4.
You got room. You're clear there.
Still 7/10 of a second behind Hamlin, next driver for position. Yeah, that's something that you would not have expected compared to how Hendrick has actually ran this year. But remember, this is a 2020 NASCAR video game that came out middle of the year, which is basically based on the statistics of the overall of how they should run from 2019. And Hendrick was not good in 2019.
Still there.
They only won a few races.
Clear up top there. Still there.
And I think that kind of led into how they have ran on this career mode so far. They did have Bowman and Johnson make the playoffs last year. Bowman on points, Johnson with a win at Texas in a rookie season, but then this year, no wins for Hendrick Motorsports, and none of them made the playoffs on points. Johnson, who made it to the round of 8 last season on the career mode, was outside the top 20 at the end of the regular season on points. Schneider just made a pass on Ryan Blaney for 4th in turns 3 and 4. Blaney still trying to get the high side to work as he continues to lose ground gradually. Elliott, who was challenging Logano for 2nd there for a while, slowly starting to lose Logano in the lap traffic. And Keselowski still out to about a 2-second lead over Logano, and about 4 seconds back to the fastest car currently on the racetrack, Keegan Schneider in 4th.
Stay low. Stay low.
Trying to cut in to this lead. No late going.
Careful. Still there. All clear.
Caution is out again. Our 6th of the race, 2nd of the final stage with 34 laps to go. William Byron will get the free pass. Schneider at 4th will pit. He's got 2 sets of tires left. He'll throw one of them on right now. And he's only going to really lose 3 positions for the restart. He'll actually go from the non-preferred lane to the preferred lane as well. He's really not going to be losing hardly anything at all things considered. We'll restart with 30 laps to go at Kentucky. No other lead lap car will pit. Not sure who brought the caution out. We got 4 drivers out of the race. Kevin Harvick, the only playoff driver out of the race. That is not a good situation for him. He was sitting comfortably above the cutoff line. That will not be the case going into Watkins Glen later tonight. He has struggled in recent years on road courses. That could be problemsome for Harvick. 30 laps to go. Green flag back in the air as Keselowski leads the field to the green.
Still there. All right. Good clear.
Pull down right in front of the 99. Schneider going to go even lower. Let out the gas, let him in briefly. But he's trying to use these fresh tires to his advantage as he sends it into 3 and 4. 3 wide. Keselowski all the way up high. Elliott with a block on Logano. 3 wide for the lead off turn 4. Elliott sandwiched in the middle. Toyota Chevrolet Ford at the front of the field. Elliott trying to side draft for his life right now. Now he has to file on the inside behind the 99 who takes the lead into turn 1. On 20 lap pressure tires. In about a lap and a quarter we'll get to the lead. From 7th to 1st. Stayed on the inside every step of the way. Schneider not wanting to waste any time as he tries to go for 6 wins in a row. A modern era record. And it would be his 20th of the season, which is also a modern era record, which he's trying to add on to. The most wins ever, even pre-modern era, in NASCAR history consecutively, is 10 races by Richard Petty. Schneider would still have to win 5 more in a row following this race. It's just absurd. just how hard that record is, but if anybody can do it with the season he has had, it could be him, but he's got all variants of different races still to come. Short track, super speedway, road course, all in that stretch. That road course coming up tonight at Watkins Glen to finish off the round of 16. Schneider trying to start 2 for 2 in the playoffs. After winning at Auto Club and winning at Kentucky, 2 550 package racetracks. A 2-mile tri-oval and a 1.5-mile tri-oval. Definitely different in their own right. Configuration. Blaney cycling back for 12th now on the restart. That is a mad scramble for second. We had a lot of late yellows at Auto Club. We've had 2 in the final 58 laps so far. Will we get another? If we do, will anybody on the lead lap that time around pit? Well, Schneider's got 1 set of tires left to the end of the race. I'm sure he'll pit if he gets the opportunity. That is very interesting too. I wonder if they will have PJ1 in the next NASCAR game. On tracks that they would use PJ1, or, you know, will it be acclimated right? You know, if you go to the top, will it be that much more trippy than the bottom? With, like, the stability of your race car. That'd actually be pretty fun if they did, though. They would just have, it would add, I'm not a big fan of, like, PJ1, or even, you know, resin to a certain extent, with just enhancing the racetrack. You know, I say leave it the way it is. The track was built that way for a purpose. I just feel like you're just trying to manufacture racing at that point. So it makes me wonder with the next gen car coming out, if they're going to keep traction compound and PJ1 on these racetracks that have it now, because I always kind of thought it was because of the car currently that they kind of helped to try and make those fixes. And I wonder with the next gen car, that we shouldn't have as much of a dirty air problem. I wonder if, you know, they're just going to not have PJ1 or resin at a lot of the tracks that they do. $22 laps to go for Schneider. Trying to get career win number 25. That is just in the Cup Series. And in 2 seasons. Well, obviously 20 of them coming this season alone. One more race in the round and 8 races still to go to finish out this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode over the next couple of weeks. Definitely been a whole lot of fun so far. I'd be a little nervous experimenting with it. I'd probably have to see how the AI runs with it before I jump up there first race on a new track. But, you know, once you go to tracks that it does work, and maybe some tracks it won't work as well too. That'll be fun though. Definitely add, like I mentioned, just a whole new you know, just a whole new level to the racing experience of the game. Logano now up to second. Keselowski's no longer inside the top 5. I haven't seen that much of that. Well, right as I said that, he moves, or at least is battling Denny Hamlin for that 5th spot. Chase Elliott, I mean, honestly, all 5 of those drivers, Logano back to Keselowski in 6th, are all within a second of each other. I can easily change hands, and that would change points between those playoff drivers, excluding Elliott to the end of the round. Yeah, and also trying to, as Patrick mentioned, break the bad luck streak on the career mode at Kentucky. DNF in the Truck Series. This is our only DNF that entire season. the Xfinity Series, I know we had at least one DNF here.
You got room. You're clear there.
We obviously DNF last season
You're clear there.
at Kentucky as well in this game. Actually, no, now that I think about it, we did not DNF in that race. I think we were just slow and had damage. Finished outside the top 30. I think we did finish the race. I feel like, not talking about the resin, but talking about the PJ1 of any track that they've used it on, that I feel like it works the best would be Pocono and Michigan. Pocono only because of the current aero package. And Michigan just because since the repave there really hasn't been an upper lane, at least I provided one. Even though the bottom was still better at Michigan, even with the PJ1 there, it was still faster. Especially with going full throttle. You want to take the shortest way around if you can go full throttle. Which the current aero package again kind of leads to that, I guess, too. Michigan's, I mean, it's getting a little bit, it's not rough, but it's getting more aware that within the next couple years, it's going to start to race like old Michigan again, where you're going to see guys up all the way here to roll without PJ1. The only problem is, and we kind of saw this in Texas, at least with the IndyCar series, that when they try to take the PJ1 off, then it's super slippery. I'm scared it might be like that with Michigan. Which nobody's going to want to go up there, even though, you know, it can be fast. I'm sure Kyle Larson will be one of the first guys to try and test that in your open practice session. I hope there's some way for them to like rubber it in enough to where there's at least grip up there with taking the PJ1 off. Left to go. 15-second lead over Logano. Everybody's good on field at the end. Schneider was the only driver who pitted during the last caution as well to take tires. But he still has one set left. If we get another caution, he's in a situation where he feels like he should pit. As the leader, though, if nobody else on the lead lap pits again, I think he's just going to stay out this late in the race. Not put himself in harm's way on another potential crazy restart, especially knowing that we're late enough now, we get another caution, we're going to have less than 10 laps to go on a restart. Similar pace to the very beginning of the season where Schneider was clicking away a lot of wins. But it has come at the most opportune time of the year. From the late regular season now into the early playoff races. We'll just have to see if he can keep this momentum up all the way through. There's still 8 races to go following this one. Lead his way to a potential first career championship in the Cup Series. No driver in NASCAR history has ever won a championship in the Truck Xfinity and Cup Series. Schneider trying to be the first. 10 laps to go tonight at Kentucky. And in about another hour, we will have our Watkins Glen race. I don't even, PJ1 doesn't even need to be applied at Martinsville. I mean, I say that with any track, but Martinsville is fine just the way it is. They could get a second group to work at Martinsville when it gets rubbered in nice enough. But you can tell by the end of the race it's harder to pass cars just because the top gets rubbered in. You can hang up there for, 5 to 10 laps at a time. The car on the bottom trying to get the run. So you're going to have the corner exit speed if you can pinch a guy off too. See guys diving the corners off for faster laps later in the run with the tires wear out too.
You're all clear on top there.
And there's no traffic around him for a lap or a corner.
Wave them off. Caution's out.
8 laps to go, and we have another caution. Just like at Auto Club, where we're getting cautions late in the race. For the second race in a row, we're going to have a restart with 10 or less laps remaining. In this one, we're only going to have 5 laps to go when we go green. Schneider's got that extra set of tires, but he's not going to use it, because it looks like everybody else on the lead lap will stay out of the pits. See all the drivers who have DNF. 5 drivers at least right now at DNF. Bubba Wallace, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Reddick, and Ryan Preece. So 5 laps to go, and a late race restart for the second race in a row. This is our 7th caution for incident on the day. 3 past to William Byron in 8th.
Green flag in his hand. Be ready here.
Schneider will lead the field into the Geico restart zone, into the green flag.
Got one peeking outside.
Logano trying to side draft. Schneider going to pull up and block him and pull clear into 1. Logano in the wall into turn 1. Logano scrapes the wall. Blaney's going to get around him. Keselowski to the inside. Blaney's going to get to the bottom of the 99, who couldn't get the car back down to the inside. He was loose on the older tires. Now he blocks the 12 down the back straightaway to 3. 4 laps to go to the line. And a close call on that restart. Blaney was trying to side draft, but the older tires just weren't quite enough to give the 12 car the mechanical grip he needed to stay underneath the 99. Keselowski has finally cleared Logano for 3rd. And now he's going after his other teammate Blaney for 2nd. Brad was 2nd at the end of each of the first 2 stages tonight. Trying to finish 2nd in the race as well. Schneider won the first 2 stages, and he's trying to win the race as well. Keselowski inside Blaney off turn 4. They're side by side for 2nd, 3 to go. And now clear at the start-finish line. Pulls Keselowski to the block on the 12. Logano underneath Blaney and clears him off turn 4 for 3rd. 2 to go now, and Logano's not done in that battle for 2nd. 3 Penske cars inside the top 5, in fact inside the top 4, but none of them are leading the race. And Logano now inside of Keselowski off turn 2 for 2nd as they battle hard. Door to door as they enter into 3. Oh my goodness, they're almost making contact back there. Can't tell their teammates now. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go at the front. And Keegan Schneider will get his first career win at Kentucky. It'll be the 25th of his career total in the Cup Series and the 20th of the season. Winning the first 2 races of the playoffs. More playoff points will carry back over into the round of 12 and beyond. Checkered flag, Schneider will win career race number 25.
Checkered flag is in the air, it's yours.
Big time win for Keegan Schneider at a track that he has struggled at in all 3 of the top series in NASCAR. In this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode playthrough. But in the final race here ever, with the future NASCAR games for the potential moment at least, he gets the last lap. He doesn't have to go into any what-if scenarios under the future career modes. He got it done on the top stage and in the playoffs at that. A heck of a burnout following. Schneider the winner. The Quaker State 400. KFC for dinner. It sounds good, but The closest KFC to me is like 20 minutes away, and it's kind of late. And I think my mom is making lasagna tonight, so maybe get some lasagna in me in between these races. So there's a look at the top 10. Keegan Schneider with the win. Joey Logano second. Brad Keselowski third. Ryan Blaney fourth. Chase Elliott rounds out the top 5. Denny Hamlin sixth. Clint Boyer seventh. William Byron eighth. Kurt Busch ninth. Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10. Only non-playoff drivers in the top 10 were the two Hendrick Chevys of William Byron finishing 8th and Elliott in 5th. Other playoff drivers outside the top 10, Almirola 13th, Newman after DNF finishing 14th, Kyle Busch 15th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 17th, Matt Kenseth 19th, Matt DiBenedetto 24th. He was as low as 30th at one point, but still not a good run for him. John Hunter Nemechek 32nd. And then Kevin Harvick, who DNF'd to finish 37th, only getting 1 point for his race finish. And again, those are not the points. Yeah, look at how the game scored our playoffs. It's a 10-race playoff, and they only made 4 drivers in the playoffs for the final 10 races. And I don't know how they decided it. I think it was just the ones that were with the most wins and furthest up in points is what they decided to put as a championship for. Because Hamlin, who was second the entire regular season, isn't even in it. Good thing I've been keeping track of points. Nice looking trophy at Kentucky, by the way, as well. Want to see how many laps we led. 140 of the 267 laps led in race 1 here at Kentucky. Tune in at the bottom of the next hour at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for race 2 of the night and the third and final race of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode at Watkins Glen. Again, this was our makeup race for not streaming last night. Watkins Glen was as scheduled for tonight. It will run according to schedule. So be sure to tune in for that one. Again, like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And I will see you guys later on. Have a good one.